tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple T, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday. Time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods. Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boys shining. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go being D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday, time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboys Scout.
Appreciate
My
it.
man West Coast from this month.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Let me turn my microphone on. What up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. We live in the building. We live on IG. We live on Facebook. We live on YouTube. What up? What's up to everybody on your different platform that you're choosing to listen to? We appreciate you so very much. Boss Cowboy, you there with me, man?
All the way.
Hey, what's up with y'all, man? So, hey, man, I know y'all see it. Well, y'all can't really see it, but we got the green screen hook up. But as soon as we get it going on Boss's side, we'll be able to use it in the show, have more technical stuff. But sometimes I like just jumping on here and just giving it to y'all the way you like it, and that is just straight off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, we're going to say hi to a couple people in the comment box, and then we're going to go straight into it, all right? What up with you, Ken? What up with you, Abel? What up with you, Isaiah? Well, I see you, man. What up with you, Instagram? Instagram is popping right now. It's cracking. What up with you, Instagram? I got Die Eagle. What up with you, Montclair Jr.? What up with you, Instagrammy? What up with you, Renard? What up with you, Boss Cowboy? I know you see some people on Facebook that you even if you don't know them, we can at least give them some love.
It ain't cross-posting my page yet.
Okay, let me see. It's not gonna. If it's not cross, I'd have to stop the show to do it over. But it should be up there.
It's not. It's only on yours.
All right, let me share. Well, share it over there.
Scott said, "What's good, boss? What's up?" I see Delana. Hey, Delana. Hey. And then obviously my boy Buddha said, "Alrighty, he gone."
Who?
Alerted, he gone.
Who?
He said Gary gone.
Boy. 409 in the house. What up with you, man? We got 915. Hey, we got a 915 in here, man. You from El Paso, man? I was in El Paso just like last month. Why you ain't come kick it with your boy West Coast? I had Jalen Smith out there. I had my boy Antoine Woods out there. We was out there, right out there off of Cincinnati Avenue. Like Cincinnati is like where it go down in El Paso. It's pretty cracking. I ain't even gonna lie. Shout out to El Paso, El Chuco. What up with you? That's gonna be like my little second home, place from home. You know what I'm talking about? My boy Montclair says, what up with you? Popping in El Paso. Hey, I need everybody right now. Where are you watching the show from? What city are you currently watching right now so we can see where y'all repping from? What up with you on Facebook? We got some people on YouTube, too. Let me see what we got up on YouTube. Let me see if I can get you guys up real quick. But, yo, since, the season's over for the Dallas Cowboys, we pretty much talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. So we're just going to talk about what's going on in the nation first. Then after we talk about what's going on in the nation, we'll talk about what y'all want to talk about. Then we talk about what we want to talk about. We just going to have a bunch of conversations. But this is what I need for you guys to know, right? And I'm not trying to put nobody on Front Street, but that's what I'm saying, right? Ever since the Cowboys lost, my viewership has dropped. You want to know why? Because all the fake fans went back to where they was, right? But now we got the real Cowboy fans. I need y'all to choose today if you are going to follow this team all the way to the end. Because 2020 is for us now. So that means free agency is important. That means draft is important. Why? Because we notice, Boss Cowboy, all that stuff is kind of like a snowball effect, right? You know what I'm saying? If you just pay attention, when the season start, there's a whole bunch of bad mistakes. Good stuff that you didn't already miss that are going to affect the Dallas Cowboys. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would say that 2019 is going to be remembered more for its offseason and its lack thereof than the actual season. Because a lot of the stuff that we complained about in the offseason did not get fixed in the regular season. And guess what? You can't practice in the regular season. So, I need everybody right now. And I need my scouts who are in my comment box. I need y'all to comment on the show because y'all got my phone going crazy right now. So my scouts who are in the chat group, I need y'all to all comment in the on the show somewhere. All right. So, Boss Cowboy, real quick before we start, man, let them know why is it so important to stay engaged, man.
Because actually, man, it's first of all no days off.
Speak up.
It's no days off. I mean, really, because like you said, one of the most frustrating things is when we spent all off season really just going heavily into contracts and the details of them, the APY, the averages, what it meant, and all the kind of stuff. And then we get to the season and people still talking about Dak money or they talking about Cooper money. But everybody that stayed with us over the whole offseason was already fully caught up on all of that kind of stuff. Plus, you have a lot that's getting ready to shake on this team. You have about 27 people that's unrestricted free agents. So it's going to be a lot of moving and shaking and changes that's going on. Your team is going to look different. Guaranteed. It's going to look way different. Like I think they said with Kansas City, they only have about 7.
That's crazy.
7. So their team is pretty much going to stay intact. But our team is going to be different. So it's going to be a lot of moving pieces, and we're going to anticipate those pieces, and we're already going to talk a lot about potential pieces that's going to be moved and how we can upgrade. And because you can say also West Coast, which is true, our 2019 team was better than our 2018 team. So if you run away now, you're going to miss all of it. You're going to miss all the changes, all the updates, everything.
Yep. What up with you, Troy Pyers? He said I really thought Ron Rivera would be a good for us. Ron Rivera more of a defensive coach. I wasn't been a big fan of him, but on the defensive side, I was. But I want to say some people, shout out to some people over on YouTube. What up with you, Dwayne? He said, "What's good, West Coast Boss Cowboy?" What up with you, Nate Brown? 404 Charlotte in the house. What up with you, Vato? What up with you? He says, "Did you get my message, Vato?" I didn't. So inbox it to me again or just drop it right here. But the first thing we want to kind of talk about tonight, man, is just basically what's going on. And I think a lot of you guys are still concerned about, is Jason Garrett going to be here or not? And I think a lot of reason why a lot of you guys are so focused on if Jason Garrett is going to be here or not is because I think a large part of you guys believe that your success is for next year's season is going to be predicated on if he's here. Basically meaning if he's not here, then you're already going to feel like your season's doomed. But if he is here, then you're going to get that hope, that artificial hope, that same hope we got when we trusted. And I'm not going to nag on Tristan Hill, but I'm just saying that same hope we got when we drafted him, thinking that was going to fix everything in the interior. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, in 2020, we got to be more educated fans. Like, this is my thing, right? If Jason Garrett is a problem, he's a problem. There's many more problems that need the same attention. And what I see with the Dallas Cowboy Nation is we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. We're focusing all our attention on getting a head coach. And I'm going to tell you what's not good about that, because Jerry Jones is like a politician. He'll give you this over here. It's like weed in California. I'm going to be honest with you, is the best example. Like, everybody wanted legalized weed until it was legalized. Now you're paying $14 worth of tax. You're like, wait, time out. You're giving me how much and I'm getting how much? Yeah. Now everybody wants to go back. And honestly, there's a lot more people in California who want to go back to the way it was. Why? Because the taxes are ridiculous. Bro, you don't even work unless you're really, really big. You're not an independent weed grower. No, bro. You work for the United States government. Why? Because some god-awful number is going to the federal government for taxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Jerry Jones does stuff like that where he'll give you this over here. Oh my God. We're going to give you this nice shiny object so that you don't pay attention to all this other BS. We're going to give you Jason Witten, but then we're not going to pay Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and Ezekiel Elliott. But we got Witten. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did I tell you we got Witten? Like, that's what the stuff that Jerry Jones does. It's called that sleight of hand, man. You know what I'm saying? The left hand don't pay attention what the right hand is doing. That's what in 2020. In 2020, we're gonna pride ourselves as being able to multitask as fans. So you can make statements like this. You know what, Boss Cowboy? You're damn right I want Jason Garrett fired. But I want this dude fired too. And I want him fired, and I want him fired, and guess what? He shouldn't get a contract either. So let's be well-rounded and let's understand everything that goes on our team. So Even though I say it's Jason gone or staying, guess what? I think everybody's already made their decision on if they want Jason Garrett to go or stay. So we're not even going to talk about if he's going to go or stay because it's what day is today, Boss Cowboy?
I mean, it's the 4th day, right?
It's the 4th. It's funny because we up here doing this like a countdown. No, today is Thursday.
Yeah, it's the 4th day, and
yeah, speak up, speak up.
They actually said that usually after day 3, that coach is staying historically, because usually most teams after 3 days have made their decision and already kind of started the process of finding another coach. But this is one thing about Dallas that we all gotta know as long-term fans is that first of all, it's not in Jerry's best profit motive to just kind of kill the story. That's one. So as long as we still talking about it, Jerry's still making money, right? As long as we still doing a whole bunch of tweeting and sharing and everybody still waiting and watching the clock, you know, every time we turn on the TV and we try to look for an update, Jerry's compensated for that. So it's in his best interest to prolong this. That's one. Two, they obviously are not moving on from Jason Garrett. I'm going to just tell you that right now. Now, he's going to more than likely be in another role, but the fact that we're here Thursday and they're talking about their 4th meeting, nobody takes ever 4 meetings to fire anybody. When you're talking 4 meetings, now you're saying, what are you going to do now? What's going to be the parameters of that role? It's going to be stuff like that. So,
what up with you, Kristen?
So we might as well just honestly,
Long live Keith. Go ahead.
We might as well honestly just go and get ready for Jason Garrett to still be in the building, because he's going to be in the building. Now, at what role, we don't know yet.
Yep.
I predict it's going to be scouting. I predict it's because that's what his dad does. His brother is still a scout. And
but you got to remember, he makes $6 million a year, so it's for that type of money. That's upper management. He's not going to be. This is the thing, right? If you're going to fire someone, well, it's not. Well, actually, I said it by. If you're going to hire someone. If you're going to hire someone, you can't put them back in direct contact with the people that you brought them away from. Why? Because he may still have an influence. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and it's crazy because at the beginning of the season, when we had our first conversations about Jason Garrett, I said Jason Garrett, and this is on film. I said Jason Garrett will not be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2020, regardless.
You said even if he wins a Super Bowl.
Even if he wins a Super Bowl, he will not be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Because I said he was going to do the exact same thing that the Dallas Cowboys are doing right now. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why I felt so strongly that Jason Garrett was going to be in the management. Want to know why? This is what triggered that thought. When the coaches last year were trying to press the law or press this new rule for pass interference to get reviewed, 32 coaches had to present this to the owners and to the NFLPA. Now, do you think they let 32 coaches speak? No, it'd take forever. So guess what all the coaches did? The coaches, including Sean Payton, voted for one coach to speak on behalf of all the coaches. And guess who that coach was? Jason Garrett. When you see a guy has that much influence over an entire league, you don't let him go. You don't let him go. Now, he's not going to coach your team, but that right there, where people come to you and they say, hey, we want you to represent us, we want you to lead us, that's paid. You get paid for that. Oh, yeah, they pay for that. That's called consulting. There's a whole slew of things that people get. You can go in there, Boss Cowboy do a little something like that. If you need some insurance, holla at my boy if you're in Texas. I'm just saying, that's what he do.
Yeah, so, and then on top of that, it's my biggest thing on why you don't want Jason Garrett out the building, because I heard some people looking through the thread say Jason Garrett is not good at anything.
That's a lot. That's just, but those are emotional fans, though. Those are emotional. Yeah, we're not gonna get.
That's why I want to talk to him.
Yeah, you can talk to him. Go ahead.
Because actually, that's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
Like, there are some things that Jason Garrett is good at. Jason Garrett is pretty good at Monday through Friday preparation. He's good at that.
He's good at calling pass plays too, because he's pretty damn. He was ranked. We were ranked.
He was good at that when he was play calling on the passing game. He was good at that. Another thing that most people don't know is Jason Garrett is also pretty good at personnel. Like, so you have to actually dig deep to see that though. Like what Wesco said. He said, I only look at the Dallas Cowboy app. Me too. Right? I look at other apps, but that's the main one. And they have history on there. So I went through a lot of the history because, I just like to know about my team. One of the things that's on there is the Dak Prescott documentary, where they really show who was the person that got Dak in the building. And I'm telling you who it was.
Jason Garrett.
It was Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett fought for Dak Prescott.
Fought like there are certain fights where they call standing on the table for a player. Right? That's where you putting your balls on the line. That's basically what Jason Garrett did, and he had to do it against, guess who?
Jerry Jones.
Like literally.
And all this is on video. I've edited and cut the video out several times, and every time I take it, do it, and put it on Facebook, they take the video down. I haven't put it on Instagram. I put it on Instagram, but yeah, it's the Dak Prescott documentary. In the Dak Prescott documentary, the camera's in there, and you can physically hear Jason, and he actually sold him twice, because you guys remember, if you remember, the Dallas Cowboys had 2 picks in the 4th round in 2016. But you know who he lost Dak Prescott to first? Charles Tapper. He was not even on. Hey, that's my boy, so I ain't about to say nothing about it. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the little homie Snoop out there. That's the homie, but he ain't even in the league no more. He don't play football no more. You know what I'm saying? We released him, went to the Jets. I don't even think he in football no more. But we picked Charles Tapper out of Oklahoma. And then that was the first time he fought for Dak, and he didn't win. But then remember, we got a contemporary. What's the word I'm trying to say that I can't say? Compensatory pick. We got a compensatory pick.
And that was Dak.
But I want to give some away, boss. Can I give some away? Don't say it. Who was the player that got us the compensatory pick? You got to put his name in. I got him on the network. Whoever put it in first, I'm gonna give you something. Let me find something real quick. Go ahead, boss. What you saying?
But one of the things about that, in terms of he's not good at anything, we all got to remember that his household was a scouting household.
Got a T-shirt for you. I need the name. What player helped us get Dak Prescott?
His dad was a scout for the Dallas Cowboys.
Hitchens. That's wrong. Go ahead.
So basically, you got to imagine what his life.
Murray. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just saying no to all these people.
Killing me, bro. God.
Huh?
So like his household was full of scouting information. So when he went home from high school and middle school, when his dad was putting in overtime, he was watching film, evaluating players. That's how he was brought up. So when you see him in that documentary say, Jerry, this is what I want you to envision about Dak Prescott. He named all the traits on Dak that we currently see today. He said he has this leadership in spades. He got that it factor. He's a closer. The men rally about him. He said, I saw him firsthand. I coached him, Jerry, in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, the question I asked for the T-shirt was, name me the player who left the Dallas Cowboys. Damian Wilson, that's my homie. He never played for the Cowboys. Plays for the Chiefs right now. My little brother Brock for him when he was in college. But the question I'm asking you guys for the free T-shirt is, name me the player who left in free agency, who we got a compensatory pick for, who we later used to pick Dak Prescott. What's that player's name? And I haven't seen him yet. So go ahead.
And so then on the other part that you got to consider about, and you got to really think about this from an executive level. And see, the danger part about letting a guy like Garrett out the building is because he's come from a scouting background.
Hey, we got a winner. Sloan, you, my boy Fonzarelli, you won. And hey, you right, Damian Wilson. I'm thinking about Damian Wilson, running back. You talking about Damian Wilson, the linebacker. The answer was wrong though, but my boy Sloan, my boy Fonzarelli, you would get it, man. I almost you so be on your stuff. I should almost disqualify you, but I knew you was gonna get it if you was on the show. But yeah, it was Ron Leary. Ron Leary left, went to the Denver Broncos, and we used that compensatory pick to later pick Dak Prescott, and that's why Jason Garrett had to sell him twice, because he sold him on the first 4th round pick, and Jerry was like, no, I'm looking for he didn't say war daddy, but he was looking for somebody to get some sacks. And then on the second one, he fought him again, and he obviously gave in because Dak Prescott's on our team. So great, good. So my boy Sloan, make sure you put that. Should be your inbox. I'll get your inbox over there. Leary, my boy says Leary was good. He was good. He was real good. Anthony Spencer, another guy that from LSU was really good. Now Leary was blocking for Dak in 2016, wasn't he? No. All right, go ahead, Boss Cowboy.
Man, stop doing that, bro.
I gotta get them their awards, man.
I gotta remember everything I'm saying.
Come on, man. I gotta give them.
Leave, man.
All right, I ain't gonna get you no more. Go.
All right, bro. So listen. So what happened with Garrett is when you know how he grew up, right? And then you think about when you have that much skill set growing up. Plus, this is the big part. He saw the changes from Will McClay. So he was on the before and after effects of Will McClay with a scouting background himself. So what does that say? That means that you have a coach with a scouting background who observed the original herbs and spices, or you can say it like this: he got a clue about the Coca-Cola formula. Yeah. And when you have somebody that understands, Will has a board that's for free agents, right? And then he also has a board that's for this draft. This is how he evaluate, because I talked to him about those players. I know how he thinks. Does that mean he's gonna always hit? No. But that means that he has a big clue of what made Dallas successful and what most teams can't do. And that's evaluate talent. So if you Jerry Jones and you Steven Jones, do you want to let that type of intel out the building? No.
But how much are you gonna pay for it though?
I would rather pay you $8 million or $10 million to just keep you, right? And keep our information and our intel within us than to let you out, go to the Giants, and now all of a sudden they know how to build and have a draft strategy and a long-term strategy that builds them like we're built now. So it's one of those things to where, like, a lot of people, we so mad at Jason Garrett over his lack of coaching that we throwing away the baby with the bathwater. And that sometimes you got to divide those two. You got to say, wait a minute. Now, I might not want him as a coach, but I don't want him in the hands of my enemy. Yeah. Information that he has.
So, I mean, but this is the only thing about it, though. The only thing about with Jason Garrett is the fact that he is making $6 million a year. So since he's making $6 million a year, that basically voids any position in coaching other than a head coach. And my thing is, I don't think that if they were still going over money, this would probably be more weird right now. Because the only way that I could think that Jason Garrett would be going along with this is if the money aspect was already taking care of it. So if the money aspect is taken care of already, he's probably going to be making around the same money he's making now, which is about $6 million. Okay, let's say he goes down $5 million. Like, he's now the highest paid, whatever coach you put it. So you have to find a way to take the word coach off of his name. You know what I'm saying? Because personnel guys, they take like my thing is this, bruh. They took goddamn what's the dude that was calling draft? This dude was a draft analyst, and now he's a GM for the Raiders. What's his name?
Mike Murdoch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there is no real qualification, and I know he's making like $5 million.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't see why there isn't why there's this big thing as far as like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, man, if Jason was to leave, obviously I don't think that he would go. I'm not afraid of Jason going anywhere in the division, because Jason Garrett, in my opinion, has shown me that he is so much like him and Dez are so much alike, bro. It's sad, bro. Like, it's sad. Like, they really love the hell out the Dallas Cowboys. And they probably love the Cowboys more than they really should. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dez, you should have never been that loyal to the Dallas Cowboys where you just sat at home for 3 months and just let them decide, oh, we're going to fire him. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to release him. Like, what? Like, that's why I say, like, they're so, like, it's crazy how much Dez and Jason Witten, like, their undying loyalty to the Dallas Cowboys is just, like, it's not deserving, man. Like, you don't even have players like this loyal to the Patriots. Like, bruh, Gronk said deuces and didn't come back. I actually thought Gronk was going to come back, but didn't come back. It was like deuces. But you don't, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. So let's go to the next subject after we talk, because I mean, obviously we both believe that Jason Garrett is going to be back in some fashion. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think I said on my video first day, Boss even said in his article, man, if you don't fire someone within the first, like, Black Monday came and went. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are the only team that's still deciding if they're going to keep someone. Well, you know why? It's because the decision's already been made. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think you can only do this to your head coach if you know exactly who you're going after. And I think that guy that you're waiting on hasn't made his decision.
Hey, and then I also want to throw out one more possibility too.
Throw it.
Is under the Stephen Jones era, it's a lot more cutthroat than the Jerry Jones era.
That's true.
Some of this could be to where what they could be trying to do is run out the clock on him. Because if you watch Stephen Jones closely, that's been his strategy since he's been given more authority.
But nobody's even requesting an opportunity to even talk. I mean, I guess you wouldn't have to.
I'm with you. I'm just throwing that out as a possibility, too, to where it can be day 5 and then they still fire him. But because it's about trying to get other jobs filled. So let's say if the Giants are filled, it make you feel safer that your intel ain't going to at least end up with your competitor. Like, because they ran the clock out on Dez and they did it on Romo. Because a lot of people forget about that.
Dang, Romo loved him too much too then. Romo, you love the Cowboys way too much. He was crazy.
Because see, they did it to Romo because people forget the details of what happened. Romo was gearing up to go to the Texans. The Texans freed up a lot of cap space to take on his contract. And at the very last minute, Jerry and them changed and said, we want to have trade talks. And after a team already moved their assets around preparing for a player, they took offense to it.
Not an offense. They probably not even offense. They had already they had already gotten rid of assets to secure space to bring you in. So It's like now I got to give up assets on top of assets. So it's almost like whatever I gave up, technically I gave that to the Cowboys too. You know what I'm saying? Right. So say there was a corner that I said I'm gonna let go of this corner so I can pay for Romo. Well, guess what? You now got to trade. So it's technically like I traded you all that and that corner because I don't have neither one. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't have neither one of them.
And look what it did to Romo. A lot of people don't really think about this, but look what it did.
It pissed Denver off because Denver was all the way out.
It left Romo one dancing partner, CBS. See, around that time, Romo's supposed to have been talking to Denver. He's supposed to have been talking to the Texans. He's supposed to have been going through a normal free agency shopping frenzy, trying to figure out what I'm getting ready to do with my passions in my future. But Dallas is like, we're going to leave you with one dance partner. That's cutthroat, especially for a man that broke his back. You know what I mean? For you and your franchise. But see, a lot of that don't mean nothing now with these current regime. It's like, they'll let you break your bones and be like, oh, you're a better deal now.
Yeah, and that's why we don't preach that, oh, be loyal to the star. Like, what are you talking about? Loyalty is a two-way street.
That's right. Exactly.
Like, loyalty is a two-way street. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, the days of just growing up, because you got to see it like, you know, the world is different now. Like in the 70s and the 80s, where I understand a lot of our fans are from that era, 70s, 80s, you know, football was one of the few ways you can get up out the hood. Well, guess what? Folks is making it out the hood all types of ways now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this American dream is not as American dream as it is. And I know for some of you guys, it's hard for you to understand that a lot of these guys ain't playing for no championships. They're playing for a check. And guess what? That's okay. Like, that's just, it is what it is. There's going to be more of that. Why? Because you can only have one champion a year. That's just how it works. So it's like everybody can. And that's why I tell you guys that when you're building a team, your team is not built around winning championships. I mean, around a Super Bowl. It's really built around winning your division. Because if you win your division, that gives you the opportunity to represent your division in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's you shoot for the moon, you land amongst the stars. But that's what teams. That's your first goal. If you don't get past winning that division, man, your battle is going to be up. It's going to be very, very uphill. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just to have that conversation, just because we're having that conversation on Jason, and it's crazy too, because boss, you say 27 players. I think there's 18 coaches that got expiring contracts too. So, bro, like that's 27 plus 18. Like think about this. Even if you win a Super Bowl this year, right? Even if the Cowboys take it all the way to the Super Bowl, we're in the worst position in the world. Why? Because 27 people don't have contracts. So how do you keep that team together? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I need y'all to really. I'm gonna have to probably have Boss Cowboy explain this when I say this, right? But monetarily, for as many contracts that we have open, winning a Super Bowl, you would have probably saw most of them dudes gone. Most of them dudes would have been gone. Look at the Denver Broncos after they won a Super Bowl. That team got picked apart. If you come here, you come here, you come here, you come here. Everybody took money. Everybody dipped. Why? Because you got a Super Bowl ring. This is the most money I'm gonna get ever.
Oh yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit, boss? Like, it's not a bad thing.
The team will be cut up way.
Bruh.
Like right now, we go get some guys back on some deals.
Yep, like Antoine Woods.
To a Super Bowl? Oh no.
We ain't getting nobody back.
Yeah, everybody would have been top commodities. Because he would have took like great play to do it, and they would have put up good film
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs and clutch moments, and that's what you pay for, right?
Yep.
You pay for people that play big in big moments. So, since we're in the offseason, we can now call the loss a blessing. Obviously, trying to get into it, we was like, no, we hoping for us to have that window. But since that window is closed, we can have an advantage of hindsight and look at it. Just like what you said, it's like right now, we have a better chance of getting boys back on deals.
Yeah. My boy said, re-rock, be on that re-rock cat. What about Callahan back in the line, coach? Garrett, we still talking about Jason Garrett. Let me look at these comments. Travis trapping out the house with the birds on the windows. You already know it. But yeah, man, that's just one of the true things of doing business. You know what I'm saying? And that probably explains why Jason Garrett, not Jason Garrett, but I don't even want to say Jason Garrett because I think this is a decision bigger than Jason Garrett, and this was a decision. This was not something that was done on accident because they did it to another player about 4 years ago. I'm going to give you guys a situation. About 4 years ago, Sean Lee was standing on the sideline pissed off. And you want to know why? Because he needed one sack to get $1 million. And the Cowboys didn't even let him play.
Wow.
Right? And he was pissed on the sidelines.
$1 million.
Now, we think about today. Can I ask you a question? Why do you think in a game where the Dallas Cowboys were just utterly dismortalizing a team, why do you think they didn't let Dak Prescott get the 2 yards he needed to get that record? Like, don't you think that would have been a good thing if Dak would have broke that record in a contract year? And it's funny because even Troy Aikman said, someone in PR needs to get down to the sidelines and let them know he needs 2 yards. That's what Troy Aikman said. It's crazy because that's why I love Troy, because Troy Aikman may not be on this, but when it comes to that quarterback fraternity, he rides for them quarterbacks.
Right.
He ride for them.
And see, people got to realize how cutthroat that is too.
Why would you do that, Dak? Why would you do that to Sean Lee? Why would you do that to Dak Prescott? Why would you do that?
Man, and I said this about Steven. Steven is a killer, man. Jerry is more of a diplomat killer. Steven is a cold-blooded killer. Steven will have his best players out there and throw them all on Front Street to save a couple of dollars.
Yeah, he will.
And that's exactly what he did this whole offseason. And see, like, this whole offseason, threw Zeke under the bus, Coop under the bus, and Dak. We like to only focus on Dak, most of us. But now, look at the pattern of how they did all their players. What did he say about Tank? Tank is not no Von Miller, K-Mac.
That came from your own organization. That came from your own organization.
Your own organization said that about you.
What if you was trying to get a raise and you walked in and said, "Baby, I'm trying to go from 10 to 12." She'd be like, "Yeah, but come on, you know you ain't John. Like, come on, you ain't."
Your own wife.
Your own wife, bruh. Because that's how close it is when it's your owner.
Yeah. When your own people saying,
"Come on, bruh.
Person over there.
Come on, bruh. Yeah, I mean, you're good, but you're no John.
Yeah,
like, come on."
We believe in the competitor more than we believe in you.
Thank you. What would you say to that? Like, you would instantly have no faith in that person.
Yeah, so like to your point, looking at Dak needing that 2 yards, because see, once you break an all-time franchise record, that's in the history books and that's leveraging the offseason.
Yeah, and for all those people who say, because I have a group of fans that believe that nothing matters if you don't win. Well, I'm going to ask you guys this question, right? When you're at your job, have you ever had moments at your job where your company didn't do well? And then they come in and say, okay, because of this, we're going to be doing this. But then you look back on yourself and say, wait, time out. I was doing my job. So can I ask you a question? Do we not assume that there's situations where a team can be not successful, but there can be individuals doing their jobs? Like, we as fans have to be able to rationally think like that. And in 2020, I want y'all to start really filtering some of y'all thoughts and at least some of the stuff y'all say on the internet. Dude, are these regular human beings or are these robots who don't have emotions and feelings?
Yeah, and my boy E. Kush said records are for retirement. That's true.
But records are also for getting paid.
Yeah, it's also for getting paid.
And think about this, boss. At that moment, the Cowboys.
Resume.
And think about this, boss. At that moment, the Cowboys had already knew 15 minutes that their season was over. So there was nothing.
Yeah, they could have let him break it. And
because the Giants game started 10 minutes before our game.
Right.
We already knew. That's how I didn't even see the end of the game. You know why? Because I turned it off. I'm going to keep it real with you. I was upset. I was in my feelings. I apologize.
Yeah, so it's used in the negotiations. It truly is. So you don't think his agent would have went in there and said, hold on now, this man been in the playoffs twice, division champ twice, Pro Bowl twice, and he's your franchise all-time leader?
All-time leader? You don't think that's important to have when you're trying to get paid?
When you're trying to get paid?
If it's not that important, why didn't they do it? That's my question. If it's not that important, why didn't they do it?
And you don't think that can be used to say, well, you broke a record with Romo contract with his $108 million. That was a market-setting contract then on total contract value.
Yep.
Yes, it was. So how you gonna do this for this guy? And this guy just broke his records and plus a lot of his franchise records. Oh, okay. So we know that's why they did that.
So you're saying Romo broke someone else's record and got paid, but then they didn't allow Dak to break that same record? Because you know what happens? If you allow Dak to break that record, you have to look at him the same way you look at Romo.
Right. You have to.
And I'm a huge Romo fan.
Yeah, you have to enumerate him too. You have to pay him.
So that's what I think. That's what I think because, whenever I hear stuff like, well, or I tell someone like, oh, Robert Quinn had 11 sacks. Well, what does it mean? What does it mean if we didn't even make the playoffs? It means that he did his job and he should get paid for it.
And that's
what that means.
And one more thing, West Coast, I always had this fear about Steven ever since I learned about his thinking on Deion Sanders. I always had that fear that his number crunching would get in the way of football common sense. And that's what we still looking at. We still looking at the same trait that made him jack up his daddy over the Deion Sanders clear win deal. Because it was a win across every board. It checked every box. Advertising, money made, weakening your opponent, strengthening your team, everything checked. But the bean counter behind the scenes wanted a little bit more out the deal. And that's what's happening right now. Because if you think about why you wanted Dak to break that record, because going into a new season, wouldn't you want confidence in your quarterback? Don't you want something to uplift his morale? After that, say, hey man,
absolutely.
We didn't get that one, but listen, we know you can do it. You know what I mean? So we go build around you. You took that from him. Is that football smart?
No. And then think about this, boss. How are fans going to have to? It takes great players to play good to get to a Super Bowl. Then how are when they play good? Or when they play in a way that gets them at least in that position to try to get there, you then say, since you didn't get there, we shouldn't pay you. Or it doesn't matter. Like us as fans, man, like Like, I think that is one of the biggest blessings I have with just being around this Cowboys team, or being around this 2019 team, because I don't know what happens in the future. But I was around this team. You know what I'm saying? And being around this team, man, is you see people as freaking human beings, man. Like, you see the same dudes walking in Forever 21 and buying them same $43 jeans that are going to mess up when you wash them. Like, I saw that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the things that you see. Like, you know what I'm saying? I saw my boy Antoine Woods bring his son to a meet and greet because his wife had an event. He had nobody to watch his kid. I'm like, bruh, I know. Bring him. West Coast, I ain't got nobody to watch. Bring him. I ain't tripping.
And it's the trait is becoming scary. And this is the long-term trait that we could more than likely see out of Steven. He gets dug in on winning negotiations and debate wars and loses track of the football war. Because that's really what we're supposed to be fighting on the field. But even think about what he took Dak and Cooper through. And think about what Aikman's saying now. West Coast and I have been saying this.
I love Aikman because Aikman reminds me of me. Because Aikman was very critical of Dak. Like, if y'all remember me in 17, 18, 17, 16, well, it's 16 and 17. Because if you go look that Minnesota game, I went off. I ain't gonna lie. If don't go watch that video, boss. I was young. I was immature. I didn't know what I was doing. I had this huge.
This is the deal. Aikman said this, though, man. He said, I can't wait till Dak can get this over with on contract negotiations. He said this in the fourth quarter, where he can just focus on football.
Yep.
Now, we've been saying that for 8 months.
And he even stepped out there and said this. He said, I think that your quarterback would have played better. I'm like, wow, Troy Aikman, you watch my video. Because I remember when we went on that 2-game losing streak, and me and Boss Cowboy were on air, and he asked me, what do you think we could do to make this offense better? And I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing that could come to my mind was what I said. The only thing you could do to make this offense better is pay your quarterback.
Yep.
And what did Troy Aikman say? Troy Aikman said, you know what, man? I think if they would have probably paid their quarterback, he would have probably played a lot more loose. He would have, like, people feel like it's amazing how your check could be late at your job and you can have a pissed off day all day. Looking at your boss while he's smiling and he on his phone. You know he paying bills. I can't even pay my bills. Why? Because my check late. But I got to go out here and help these customers. All right, I ain't tripping. I'm going to go out here and help these customers. But, yo, bro, you need to call HR, see what's over my check, bro.
Yeah.
We talking about $34 million, though.
$34 million. Like that's
$34 million, though.
34 million, like that's not on your mind,
bro. Like, how is that, like, bro?
It's only our fans that really believe, and our fans believe this. Dak is betting on himself. You guys are tripping. He ain't worried about that, bro.
$34 million.
Everybody living is concerned about $34 million.
Even Jerry Jones is concerned about $34 million. That's why he didn't give it to him, and he's a billionaire.
Right.
And he's concerned about $34 million.
And see, this is the other part, West Coast, that most people don't even talk about. It's the effect of to the team as well, from this standpoint. What they saying when they say we're not going to pay Dak and Cooper a market-setting contract, what they're saying to everybody in the locker room, not just Dak and Cooper, what they're saying is there's nothing you can do here performance-wise that's going to get you treated like the other teams treat their best.
Nope.
There's nothing you can do here.
Nope.
So what does that do when everybody functions on incentive?
That de-incentivizes me. That de-incentivizes me.
That de-incentivizes me. So instead of me going out here and break a bone for this team and show courage and heart, you know what? I'm going to check out because I'm hurt. I'm going to go sit on the sideline because I'm hurt. Because guess what? It's not going to be rewarded here anyway. So it's like the way that, so it's like that, like Steven is scaring me. He is genius and he's super intelligent on budgeting. Super intelligent on budgeting. Like where he dug us out of cap hell, we in truly cap heaven now. We are literally behind the golden gates. We walking on the streets of gold right now.
And we 8-8.
But he's scary as HE double hockey sticks when it comes down to making the right decisions for morale. When it comes down to inspiring your team by treating your players right, you don't do Romo like that because everybody sees it. You don't say that about Tank because everybody hears it. You don't say Zeke who because everybody say, damn, Zeke don't go on the hardest. So, damn, I'm just little old Anthony Brown. I ain't got a chance. So it's like the whole team. So when we see the team flat and we just look at Garrett, that's misjudgment on our part. The team flat is because the front office is stepping on his work. And he getting ready to be fired. How you gonna inspire a team that front office pissed on?
Yeah, like, I'm going to tell y'all this. If the Cowboys would have won the Super Bowl under these circumstances, Dak Prescott is worth $40 million easily, and Jason Garrett should be the highest paid coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because you told him, I'm going to fire you if you don't win a Super Bowl, and he did it. How much is that worth? Well, how much is a Super Bowl worth to you? I always tell the story of when I used to ride motorcycles back in the day. I had a little Gixxer, and I remember I went in there, and the dude was like, man, I got these $200 helmets, I got these $500 helmets, and I got these $900 helmets. And I was like, 2, 5, and 9. Wait, time out. Where the $85 helmets at? Like, bruh, where your cheap helmets at? Like, I'm not trying to spend a lot. He's like, well, how much is your head worth?
Right.
Like, damn. Give me that $500 at least. You know what I'm saying? Give me that $500 one at least. As soon as I thought about that, like, well, dang, how much is it really worth to me? Not how much is my head worth to everybody else, but how much is my physical head being worth on my shoulders to me? Oh, it's worth $500. Give me that helmet real quick.
And Wendy said something that's even bigger than
Oh, Wendy. What Wendy say?
Something that's super real. Like,
Oh, what Wendy say?
If you're on the outside and you watching how our own organization turn down their own players, would you want to be here?
No, and think about this. Would you take less money or even matching money? Because sometimes it's not about like, do I gotta, because sometimes they won't even, they won't, like with the Patriots, if you give someone, oh man, I'll give you $10 million to go play for the Dallas, or I go give you $10 million to go for New England, that $10 million in New England, it hit just a little dark. It hit just a little different. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's going to be less conversation, less this, less da-da-da-da-da. It's a different expectation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why, in my opinion, I know a lot of people disagree with me, but that's why, in my opinion, man, I'll try to switch the subject up a little bit. That's why I think Urban Meyer, man, that's a big name that keeps coming up, man, because we keep, even as much as we keep switching, and I don't really want to talk too much. We want to talk about these players, and I know the next subject on here is supposed to be players players we want to keep or let go, but I'm going to be honest with you, you can't even really talk about players you want to let go until you know who the damn coach is going to be. Like right now, as of right now, we don't know who the coach is going to we don't know who the coach is going to be. So without us knowing who the coach is going to be, you don't know what direction you're going to go in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really can't talk about releasing players before you have a head coach. That would be like talking about, I don't know, the draft before free agency. Like, don't send me nothing on the draft until you talk to me about free agency. Because free agency is way bigger and should be way more important than the draft. Free agency is grown adults that have already proved their worth in the NFL. The draft is a bunch of kids who ain't never played in the NFL who you got to pay to hope they do something. Why would you put more stock in the draft than the free agency? And he going to probably be mad when I talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because I don't give a damn. It's my show. Boss Cowboy got a tool for 2020 that's gonna help us out a lot. Boss, can we talk about your tool just a little bit, just so we can prep them just a little bit, man? We got 77 people on Facebook, 25 on Instagram, like 15 on YouTube. That's over 100 and some people. They definitely need the tool, man. What's the?
I don't really want to tell them yet, man, because there's too many people ready to copy it too.
I feel it. But just know, hey, there's gonna be a great tool that we're gonna be releasing. You're gonna be able to purchase this great tool. And it's going to assist you in your draft strategy, and it's going to assist you in your free agency strategy. So make sure, for the educated fans, for the fans who just don't want to, get milk fed and want to sit on the couch and just watch a game once a week and pretend like they know about this team. For those fans that really want to know about this team, we got something that's going to help you. So don't trip.
50,000 messages all came in saying Jason Garrett just got fired.
Well, let's see.
50,000, like I'm being toe up right now, and that means everybody finna flood the show because everybody don't want to talk about it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I don't see nothing about no. I see right here, just
Buddha sent me a screenshot as well.
we got some on Twitter.
Yeah, and they flooding, just like I said, people flooding in.
Okay, so we got Sports Center breaking news. Cow owners decided that Jason Garrett will no longer be a part of the source tells. One interesting take on why Jason Garrett is still a Cowboy employee. That's 7 minutes ago. Shoot, I'm looking.
Yeah, we'll know soon enough. But either way. So like we was turning the corner on like free agencies and I guess talking about our own team because it is most people are very backwards, and we not gonna do that on this show. Now we gonna talk about the draft, and I'm already very deep in the draft. If you go to my page, I posted today 10 sleepers. So I didn't start with the top. I started with mid-grade quality talent that's more than likely to go be there around 2, 3, and 4, and 5, right? Mm-hmm. So we gonna talk about the draft, obviously. But if we really doing this stuff right and talking about football right, and we having a real grown man, grown woman conversation about football, we have to talk about free agency talent and everything. You have to. And I've already scouted a lot of free agency as well. And so I could tell you from looking at my boy Bullet, he say players to keep or let go.
Yep.
Right? That's the next top. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I've already dug heavily into DT in free agency that's available, as well as I've dug heavily into the safeties that's available. And I'm gonna tell you right now, from researching both heavily, because I've been on this for about a month and a half, strong. Every time West Coast called me, I was digging, every time. So this is the deal. This class of safeties in the draft is exponentially skinny. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If we don't get a quality safety between round 1 or 2, shouldn't even really target them. Mm-hmm. The good news is this: it's exponential safeties in free agency. And this is the trick. Me and West Coast talked about it today. And this is the game. Yeah, my boy say Anthony Harris, Jose. He just won. Mm-hmm. He named the guy to Minnesota. I checked him out too. And he one of the higher price ones. It's guys that's under him that's way cheaper and that still improves us. Because this is the trick that Jerry pulls on us every season. He go reach for Jamal Adams or he go reach for Earl Thomas as if you got to go that high to replace Woods or Heath. And I'm not going to say replace, to even push them and bring in competition to them. You don't have to go way up to Adams, and you don't have to go way up to Earl Thomas to improve the safety position.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm researching the heck out of it. All I see is the same tweet from Warner, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's like 5:30. It's 5:25 in Dallas. So the end of the day is pretty much done in Dallas. So it's like if he was gonna get released or fired, I think it would have been done a little bit earlier in the day. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but you know what I mean. You feel what I mean, Boss Cowboy?
Because it's certain things.
It's set. It's 5:25 in Dallas.
That's why I said we gonna know soon enough. Because they also said it early before that Jason Garrett was gone. They said it Monday and it was.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying.
But boss, think about this. That's part of the reason why we have our show after what time? At late. Why? Because that's how you guarantee that everything's done for the day. But I'm gonna just tell y'all. Can we just accept something? Jason Garrett is not going to be coaching your team next year. I think some of y'all need to accept that so we can move the F on. Come on, y'all. Can we move it on? Bro, please don't tell me that y'all watched the Dallas Cowboys play 16 freaking games and the only thing you came from it was, if we get rid of our coach, we're back right in it. That's no way in hell you thought about that.
No.
Come on, man.
And we'll actually be being super suckers to believe.
Yeah.
was the biggest problem. Because actually, Jason Garrett is not the biggest problem. We got to take the exact same zeal and passion and hate.
My boy said this after 9 in Dallas. My bad. I'm all off today, y'all. I apologize.
We got to have the same zeal, hate, passion, like together in unity. Everything we have about Jason Garrett on wanting him out, we got to have that same thing for guess what? Talking about the politics and favoritism that's still here, even though Jason Garrett is going to be gone out of coaching. The favoritism culture of favoring Witten over Jarwin and all that kind of stuff, it's still here.
Bro, I had people telling me Jason Witten is a better block. I wrote a video out today, heard some dude talking about Jason Witten is a better blocker, hands down. I'm like, oh my God, are you really about to argue with me here on the field because he's a better blocker? Bro, I'm not even about to debate you. Goodbye. I didn't block him in him. If you're wondering, I didn't block him. But I didn't converse with him either because I was like, that is just so dumb.
Yeah, Eric said we'll take it out one puppet at a time. Cool. So let's take that same energy and start talking about together like the same corporate energy and start really black. Because you're right. We checking the box. At first, Dez was blamed. Can't blame him no more. Then it was Scott Linehan. Can't blame him no more. Now it's Jason Garrett. Guess what? We ain't gonna be able to blame him no more. So guess what? We gotta also then put our energy on what's the problems. And one of the biggest problems is our culture. We got a culture of treating our players like sons, and sometimes our coaches like sons. And we treat others like black sheep and bastards. That's what we do. Some of them will take on trips. Like, it should have bothered all of us. It should have bothered all of us that Witten, after a draft, was able to go up and go skip his coach and go straight into Stephen's office and say, you just wasted a pick. Hold on, you didn't go through the channel, my man?
Yeah, and Jason Garrett has not been fired. What was put out was that the scream is basically they put out a tweet that says they're expected to part ways, but like, come on, bruh, like everybody is trying to pay bills. Like everybody is trying to pay bills. All those reporters and people in Dallas, there ain't no football right now, so they gotta pay bills. So they're regurgitating the exact same stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of knew it didn't happen. For the one reason is because I didn't get that on my phone. I know ESPN would have been on it. I know NFL would have been on it because that's the whole reason why Jerry Jones does it this way, so he can command. Like, Jerry Jones is not going to fire his coach at 9:30 at night so that we can talk about it tomorrow morning. No. When they let Jason Garrett go, they're going to do it in the morning. They're going to do it in the morning. And unfortunately, the last thing that Mike Fisher said was this. He says, the Cowboys have been expected to part ways with Garrett since week 16, which we already knew that. It's a no-show loss to the Eagles. That's a fact. That's the last thing he's posted 41 minutes ago. And I'm just saying, if Jason Garrett was no longer here, I'm pretty sure Mike Fisher would have reported it on his page somewhere. So, but I mean, my thing is this, y'all. We know that he's not gonna be your head coach. But my question to a lot of you guys is, what is next for you? Christmas came. It was the funnest time in the world, but now January's here. So what's next? Like, some of you guys are so excited about him losing his job that you have no thought of what your next coach is going to be. Most of y'all are praising him being fired and then asking me who the next head coach should be. Well, shouldn't you not leave a job before you get one? Like, that's what I be trying to say. Like, how can you be so set? The reason why I can be so set on my decision on what I feel about Jason Garrett is because I put in thought into who should be the next guy. Like,
say fish old butt in bed. Eric, you crazy. Eric say fish old butt in bed.
I mean,
he could be, but listen, that part we pretty much know he's not going to be in coaching, regardless if he fired or not. So, but this is the deal, though. This is where West Coast is right all the way. Is we should be obviously happy because that's a step in the right direction. But also that could be a trap if we really believe that the only problem was just Jason Garrett.
Thank you.
Because if we believe that Jason Garrett was the only problem,
like Jason Garrett missed 10 field goals, or Jason Garrett couldn't stop the middle of the end. Like, Jason Garrett was the problem why Tyrone Crawford got suspended, Antoine Woods got hurt, and Tristan Hill didn't work. And then he didn't. Then I'm pretty sure Jason Garrett sitting on the sidelines with his job in his hand, hoping that he can win a game to keep his job, was thinking, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't go get a D tackle. Because if we get a D tackle, that's probably going to fix our running in the middle. And you know what that's going to probably do? Probably keep my job. I don't want to keep my job. So how about we don't do that?
Because I don't even want to look at Jason Garrett or the players. I want to go higher.
Yeah, it's the or. Thank you.
Because the problem starts higher. The problem starts when you create a culture. Because see, let's say, okay, Jason Garrett gone. Okay, let's just assume that. So let's say if it's another coach, let me just throw out a name, Lincoln, right? So Lincoln, 4 years from now, let's say Dak Prescott blew out his knee. You get a brand new Dak Prescott named Earl Campbell, okay, that throws better than Dak, broke all his records. Do we want to see another quarterback go through what Dak just went through this season, where he waiting on his contract, really looking like he didn't want to run because he didn't want to risk getting hurt? So the stuff that he really needed to do that could have maybe pushed us over some games, he wasn't doing because he was like, man, I'm not going to risk that. Do we want that again?
Nope.
So if we focus only on, like, if we just turn off our phones, don't listen to no more shows, don't read any other articles, or push any information out there that's also calling out the character and the pride and the ego that's on our team, then we still not being loyal fans to the Dallas Cowboys. So it's like, I don't want to walk away like, ooh, everything's okay now because Jason Garrett is gone. No, we still got to keep the pressure on. We got to keep the pressure on. Like, we did not forget what you did. We have not forgotten the atmosphere that front office created, not Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett had to manage the mess that was made. So we got to stay real diligent on that. Because what's going to happen is we going to hit this offseason, and like every offseason, we get into delusional optimism. We going to have this brand new president on the coach. He going to be wrapped in the bow, and on the box is going to say hope.
And guess what? And that gives them a reason not to have to pay attention to free agency because it's lazy. I'm going to just call it. It's some lazy Cowboy fans out there. Y'all want to, your only mind that you want to think about is I was there for it to help them change the coach. So now I can check out and I ain't got to check back in until September 13th because that new coach is going to fix it all. That's what it is. It's lazy Cowboy fans, man. Sitting up here, our coach is I'm going to fire Jason Garrett, and that's going to be the first step. Okay, but what's the next step? The first step is not important. The next step is what's important. Who do you replace him with?
Yeah, that's important. Because, see, super important.
That's actually more important because think about this. Jason Garrett's record shows that every odd year he has an explosion year, so I would actually think this will probably be a good year for Jason.
Yeah, because see, this is what we all got to know, and this is why we got to fight the egos and the culture problem. We got to fight the culture problem because we know whoever walks in there as a coach is going to have a culture conflict. It's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's going to happen, and we got to keep the pressure on. Like, we not saying you stupid, Jerry, because we know you genius. We know you are a super genius. Like on everything. So is Steven. They're very intelligent. So none of us are saying that they're dumb. But when they missing it, we gotta call that out. When we saying, hey man, you treat Witten like a son. Mm-hmm. I know you mean well, but that's hurting our team, brother.
Yep.
Like that's hurting us, man. Like, yeah, we know he sacrificed. And guess what? It's precedent on that. San Fran told Clark, they're tight in this, West Coast. He said, Clark. He went up to him and told him straight like this. He said, man, you got 4 good years left in you, but you're going to play for us too. He said, because in San Fran, this is when they was winning a lot of Super Bowls. He said, because in San Fran, we don't wait till you fall off to get rid of you.
Heck no.
We get rid of you 2 years before you start declining. Before you start declining. I don't mean declining. Before it even starts.
Exactly.
And he hurt his feelings. But at the same time, when he got older, he said, I understood. They was looking out for the franchise. So you telling me that Witten had a career that was like Montana to San Fran?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. And guess what they did with Montana? shipped him to Kansas City, and went with the young blood.
Yeah, he did. Now young blood got him that ring.
And they got another ring. Right now, did it feel bad to Montana? Yeah. But at certain part of the business, there has to be transitions from old blood to new blood.
Yep.
And we know that the business is new blood. So there's a big risk going on right now. Big risk. This is the huge risk. We got Witten right now that's 2 touchdowns shy of breaking Dez record. It is just like us to bring him back just for that. And I'm looking at West Coast right now, a stout draft in tight ends like I've never seen. I've never seen it like this. This is the most athletic tight end class I've ever witnessed. I showed people my 11th pick and they in love. I ain't show them 1 through 10. I said, here's the guy that's gonna be a 4th round, and everybody like, oh my God! I'm like, yeah, that's a 4th rounder. What you think round 1 through 4 is like? So if Witten come back, are we gonna draft into that West Coast?
But you know what I'm hearing now is now. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. I still ain't seen nothing that's verified. But I mean, I don't care about him being fired. I mean, I know some of y'all are so focused on getting him fired because now my mind has now moved on to the next coach. And I you know where I learned that skill? I learned that skill set in the season where you only have 5 days to be mad at it. When you know what I'm saying? You lose on Monday. I mean, you lose on Sunday. You can't be mad all the way up to Thursday. Why? Because you got to play on Sunday. So me and Boss Cowboy, we pride ourselves on being able to keep things in their boxes. And I'm going to tell you guys, when you're able to do that as an individual, you know what you also do? You keep things in their proper perspective, because because something is so pressing right now, it will seem like it's more important than the guy who's actually supposed to get you in the Super Bowl. Because think about this. The guy that you're hiring, you're saying that he's going to be better than the guy you just fired. He can't be just as good.
Yeah.
He has to be better.
Yeah. And this is the main trait that I would
So the hiring is more important than the firing.
Right now, the hiring is more important. Because what traits, I'm going to ask you, West Coast, what traits in this new coach do you want that you don't feel like was in Jason Garrett?
That has to be in this next trade?
Yeah, the trait that you, the main trait.
This next coach has to have success outside of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if your only success is that you were successful here, Jerry gonna have you by the balls.
Right.
You need to have your own success where you can be like, Jerry be like, well, I did it like this. Well, Jerry, that was 25 years ago. I did it like this, and I got that. Because I need a coach who trusts more what they believe in versus what Jerry believes in. Because what I've seen the type of boss that Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones is the same type of guy that you'll go take your car. Jerry Jones will bring your car to me to get it fixed, right? I'll be fixing on the car. Jerry Jones will look in there and say, well, don't you think you should use the truck's bossolator? When don't you think you should do that? Don't you think you should do that? Don't you think you should do this? The thing with Jerry Jones is the problem with every billionaire. They have been right so many times.
Right.
Like Jerry Jones, in order to be a billionaire, that's why everybody got mad when I said it. And I said, there's no idiot. You know, you can't be an idiot if you're a billionaire. And they be like, oh, well, Trump. I'm like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. You may not like him, but he ain't a billionaire, bro, if you made $1 billion. I'm sorry. Like, you didn't make some smart decisions in your life because it made money. So that's what the problem with Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones needs someone that will look him in his face and be like, bro, I just as successful as you've been in this degree, I've been as successful in this. Like, that's why I was saying that, like, whoever comes in, man, they have to have a resume of success. Because I'm going to tell you, when the hard times come and Jerry Jones comes to you and say, I want you to do it this way, that's when you decide if he's different than Jason Garrett. Because where I see Jason Garrett is just probably saying, well, man, first off, you know me all my life. You hired my daddy worked for you, and you got me, I ain't even got no nuts out here. I need a guy that's like, man, what are you talking about, Jerry? Bruh, you hired me to win a championship. I know what I'm doing. That's why I said I even want a dude that be like, you know that girl, I want a girl, like, if we talking about getting a woman, I'm telling my son, look, man, look, TJ, you don't want no girl that just give it to you, man. You don't want that. Because that means she giving it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We don't want Irvin and Meyer. Why? Because he giving it to everybody. Irvin going to go to the team that gives him the most money, period. Because that's why he started lobbying first. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go to the team that gives him the most money, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I would say this is also what we want to see, to echo and piggyback on what you said. So when you get a coach that has their own track record, if you watch the patterns of Jerry, everybody talk about Jerry and his controlling ways, but if you really watch him closely, he gives you more rope as you prove you deserve it. That's why you want somebody that comes in with their own track record.
Yep.
If you got somebody with their own track record of major success, then he'll sit up there and not assume that he's smarter than you.
Yep.
He'll more so reason with you versus trying to dictate to you because he feel like you're not as smart as him. So if you even watch his relationship with Will McClay and Steve, his son, his own son, yeah, during the first part it was coming out that Jerry wanted Manziel, but Steven and Will wanted who? Zach Martin. So when they was right on that, he started backing up a little bit more. He started backing up more and more. Like, y'all was right on Zach.
Yep.
I want to mess this team up. And then they was right on Cooper. So the more you right, the more you have a track record, the more he pulls back.
I don't want to draft no tight end. Somebody asked, "No, I don't want to draft no tight end. We don't use the tight end enough." No, I'm not.
I want to. I want to draft a tight end because of the class.
Because of the class, yes, I'll draft one. I'm gonna tell you like this: if Jason Witten don't announce his retirement, I gotta get out of here in like 5 minutes too. So, but I want to touch on this subject. There's 2 Jasons that need to get the hell up out of here. All right. And guess what? I don't mind if either one of them. Because, see, there's this big old thing that think that, like, oh, West Coast is being paid by Jason Garrett to fight for. Like, what? No, I'm not. No, I don't. I'm not getting paid by nobody. That's the problem. That's why we go live so goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? But what I am an advocate for truth. And when I'm speaking to players, because when you have relationships with players, you can either do 2 things with it. You can use it to leverage you to get you into some free stuff. You can. Because they'll definitely get you into some clubs, into some Usher concerts, some Migo concerts. You can use it for that. Or you can also use it when you're sitting in the lobby room and they're tweeting on their phone and you lean over and you say, hey, man, we 3-0 right now. Who really calling in plays right now? Man, that's the Wiz Kid. He went from the Wiz Kid to the what? You remember what I told you they was calling him by Thanksgiving? What was they calling him, Boss Cowboy? You remember?
Mm-hmm. Don't remember.
They was calling him the rookie.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
They went from calling him the Wiz Kid to the rookie.
Yep.
And that's part of the reason why I've been so adamant on, bro, it's not Jason. I mean, it might be Jason Garrett because why? Because he should have had some nuts. And guess what? In life, sometimes you get screwed for you not standing up.
That's true.
I got burned in a lawsuit. You want to know why? Because we were suing these folks for $350,000. You know what I'm saying? And they came in here with some offer letters, and I had two other dudes who ain't never seen no money like that. And guess what they did? They broke. Well, we gotta take this money, man. We gotta like
take the $50,000.
No, we ain't taking nothing. We done waited 3 years. 3 years. Y'all want to give in now? No, we ain't giving in. No. You know what West Coast did? I gave in. I cried on the way home too. I ain't gonna lie. My wife. That's a true story. My wife. I was so mad. I told Boss Cowboy that too. I cried on the way home.
I believe it, man. Because that's the massive war, man. People don't know that litigation get ugly. But yeah, man. So like this next coach gotta be somebody to stick up. And somebody say Ebron. Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, Ebron sound good, and it's like, but see, it's a couple of things, man. I'm not at all cool with passing up on talent because Jason Witten won the record, or because they just don't know how to let him go. Because see, we know from looking at these drafts that it's certain draft classes that are rare.
Yeah.
So when you can get first round talent in round 4, you don't pass on that because that don't come around but once every 20 years.
You absolutely right. Hey, you absolutely right, Boss Cowboy. And this is what I say, right? I'm okay with using a tight end if it forces us to use them. Because right now, I'm like a black mother that go in the store. No, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Why? Because you don't eat it. That's why. My wife told me the other day, I ain't buying bananas no more. Like, why? I love bananas. Are you serious? You see these bananas? Why you didn't eat these bananas?
Dawg, these boys are
you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell everybody right now, the 2 biggest things that I've never witnessed in my whole life of looking at this stuff. I've never seen a tight end class this deep, This receiver class deep. I've seen
Y'all
this
stop
before.
opening the doors.
The
Stop opening the
Juju
doors.
class was deep. The Juju, and that was the Cooper Cup class. Because Juju went in the second, which is obviously he had first round talent. We know that, right? And then Cup had first round talent. He went in the third.
Yep.
This draft is like that as well. But I've never seen a tackle class this deep and a tight end class this deep. When it's deep, you better put your hand in that cookie jar and grab you a couple, because you ain't gonna see it like this no more. And for everybody that's saying we might need to replace Tyrone Smith eventually, well, this is the class to do it. This is the draft class you'll say, okay, let's just get one of those super talented ones, and maybe by 2023, he'll be ready, and then Tyrone might be ready to step out. Because that's the two I'm telling y'all right now, because I've been through it a lot, and I'm going to be posting a lot on my page about it. I'm telling you, the two biggest classes
He ain't
by
got fired
a big
yet, right?
mile, it's really three, but the two that's extraordinary is tight end and tackle and receiver.
Yeah, I'm on Ed Warner's Twitter right now because I'm on his Twitter right now, and Ed Warner is not producing anything on his Twitter that is saying anything about the Dallas Cowboys. What he is saying on his Twitter is that he is speaking in the tense that the Dallas Cowboys are going to move on from Jason Garrett. But guess what? West Coast told you that 45 minutes ago. Matter of fact, I told you that in a video. So it be amazing me. Some of the folks, you already know in your head. Some of y'all you know the girl love you, but you just want to make her get it. Can you tell me? I just need to hear it. I just need to hear it. I just think some of y'all are gonna feel so empty when you hear Jason Garrett get fired. Why? Because you ain't gonna know what to do next. But you don't trip, because we got you. I know I'm getting a little irritated, so I'm about to get off here right now. But Boss Cowboy, I gotta get up out of here, man. He's on ESPN right now. Garrett is done. Love watching ESPN. He's on ESPN right now talking. I agree. Okay, the Garrett area is gone. So what's next, y'all? So this is the encouragement I need all you guys to do, because I'm going to tell y'all what y'all about to do. You're about to get lazy as hell. I need you to take all this energy you made in making Jason Garrett memes, making Jason Garrett breaking out these crazy stats in the last 47 quarters. He ain't did this. I need you guys to all take all that energy and put it into finding your next head coach.
And culture.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you what you're going to do is a lot of y'all fans about to check out and just depend on West Coast and Boss Cowboy to feed you some information. And when we give you a name that you don't agree with, you're going to go running right back to Ed Warner and all them other dudes. And we doing stuff differently in 2020. Remember, we said we were. We promised that we were. What up, Bob Heck in the building?
What's up?
So, that's what we doing. Everybody got homework. Everybody got homework. If you put a fire Jason Garrett on your meme, if you put a picture of a clown face on your meme or making fun, I need you to now go get that new coach that you want to be the Dallas Cowboys and put him as your profile. Because don't go from firing your head coach to just obliteration. Now you don't know. Because you know what you really did? You just fired a job and you ain't got one else. And guess what? We still got bills that's going to have to start on September 13th. All right? We not the only ones that got to find this coach. All of us do. So that's what I need from y'all. I need that same energy that y'all took in getting this coach out and putting this next one in. Because if you don't, you know what you are? You're a lazy fan, man.
And prayers to E. Kush before we out of here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, E. Kush already know what's up, man. I pray. I lift him up. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray right now you touch his mother, Lord, and I ask you, Lord, as always, give him comfort, Lord, and not even make this prayer about him. Lord, if there's anybody, we got almost 100 and some people on there. If there's anybody out there that needs prayer, Lord, I ask you, Lord, you touch them, Lord, and heal them, Lord, and allow them to enjoy their 2020. But also, Lord, I ask you, Lord, you give us grace to endure the things that are already set up for our life, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, man. Hey, most important thing about 2019 is make sure you learn from it, all right? Because if you don't learn from it, you will for sure go through it again. Hey, Boss Cowboy, man, you got something catch you before I let you go?
Yeah, man, just go to my page, man, because I'm starting to release the sleepers, and I'm going to be releasing them little by little. I'm not going to overload everybody, just to release a little bit at a time. So if you want to kind of get to know some of these draft guys, I'm first starting to kind of unveil a couple of them on my page. I
pray for Buddha too, Lord, because he gave me some horrible picks this year. Lost a lot of money with Buddha, but it's all good. You still my dog. I'm just saying. So and I prayed over some of them picks too. Didn't work.
I released 10 today. I'm going to release 5 tomorrow. And then, ongoing, I'm going to be unveiling. Like, when I say it's a deep, tight end class, you go see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you everybody. So by the time the draft get here and all of that kind of stuff, we're gonna be all the way ready for the drafts, who they are, what round they should go in. You should have your own board, and free agency. We're gonna have all of that laid out for you.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. If you change your, I'm shooting at y'all. If you changed your profile picture and you was clowning your own coach while we was trying to get in the playoffs, I need you to put that coach up that you about to ride for to be our head coach, and I need to know why. You know what I'm saying? Because I would hate to know that we firing folks and not trying to say who we gonna replace them with, because that's not doing your whole story. But hey, man, y'all already know how it is. Y'all roll with me all 2019. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all already know who Boss Cowboy is. Y'all make sure y'all get on it. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all like that. We about to drop an awesome tool. I say we because he doing all the work, but I'm gonna promote the hell out of it because we stay in our lane. But we got a great project that is 100% designed. This was a free product we were going to put out, but the Lord showed us a way to monetize it. So what? So he can get paid for these 15,000 hours. Like, I don't even get to talk to the homie no more, man, because every time I call him, oh man, I'm running on this, I'm doing this, oh man, I'm doing the draft, man, I'm looking at the draft, man, oh man, I'm looking at this guard from such and such a Waxahachie State. Like, man, come on, bruh. Season ain't even over yet. I told people, I be straight up honest, like, yo, bro, I got 2 weeks before I really got to look at the draft. You know what I'm saying? The national championship game ain't even played yet. Oh man, I can't. Nah, West Coast, I can't talk right now. I gotta look at this gym, man. Get out of here with that. You know what I'm talking about? Enjoy yourself for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man, hey, you already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.